always curious to know, with the time that you spent overseas and then coming back and looking at the league and the current state of where it's at, are there any suggestions that you would have for not only the National League, but all the way down through the ranks of things that they do overseas that could be implemented in North America?
I'm not sure. Let's think about that. No, I think the NHL is ran very well. It's a well-oiled machine. They do a great job taking care of the players, and I mean it's first class all the way. The flights, the travel, the hotels, the meals, everything is well looked after. There's nobody better at it than them. That's the kind of stuff I played in the KHL. Like it was so far off from that level of care. I remember digging into like a raw chicken at pregame lunch in the middle of Russia. It was wild.
How
But the
raw are we
guys were
talking? A little
chirping me
bit
that
raw or a lot
uh,
raw?
what's that?
How raw are we talking? Like a little bit pink or all the way pink?
No, it was raw. Like I cut into it was raw, and then I made like an. I'm like, guys, dude, the chicken's raw, and then blip, trippy, you soft. Like, I'm not soft. You can't eat raw chicken, man. Like it's just that's not being soft. So, but yeah, the NHL does a hell of a job with taking care of the players, and it's second to none.
I heard there was a few stories out of the KHL where guys could fly the plane if they wanted to.
No, yeah. I was there the year after the crash in Locomotive, actually, so it was like really nerve wracking getting on the planes. Just obviously having that happen to a full team, and yeah, you never know. It's dicey. And I remember like the first flight, it was not that it mattered. I'm probably dramatizing it too much, but over here, there's certain flights where if there's not a lot of people on it, they'll ask you to kind of shift around and balance the weight. And so with that experience, and then the locomotive experience the year before I got there, the first flight, they're bringing like all the trunks and everything onto the plane. I'm like, what? And they're bringing it all to the back. All I could think about is like, we're never going to get off. We're going to be able to take off. Like I was shit my pants for, I'm like, till we got up in the air, I'm like, we're going down. But it was just, yeah, it was a little bit of a different experience for sure.
What were the hotels like staying in Russia?
I mean, one time they had the Wi-Fi. They had a Wi-Fi box literally hanging from our ceiling, like from wires, not sitting on anything, just hanging out of the wall at the top of us. We were like, "What is?" Just stuff like that. It's like trying to like cutting corners everywhere, and it's so different. Is it manageable? Of course, but is it ideal? No.
What was the best city and the worst city in Russia to stay in, hotel-wise and accommodations?
St. Pete's was awesome. Where Scott plays out of, the beautiful city. I remember Kevin Dahlman was there, and Kovalchuk. We went out to dinner and we had a good time in that city. It was awesome. A beautiful city. Infrastructure is awesome. Architecture stuff. It's amazing. And the hotels were like North America-ish. I can't give one an absolute F grade. I don't have one that sticks out to me. They're all the same. The bad ones were just all the same. They had the same crap, like Wi-Fi boxes hanging out of the wall, bathrooms were gross, that kind of stuff. Food was horrible for pregame lunch.
When you got the free car though from the Skodas, they put your name and number on that too?
Yeah, they do, and then that's in like in KHL, you pay for your own stuff. Like they pay you well enough that where you're on your own for rent and car. I'm sure some guys maybe work into their deal, but most guys don't have that. It's mostly in the other European leagues. So like in Skellefteå in Sweden, I had that number 44 Schremp right across my door. Red Bull, same thing. Red Bull was a big Red Bull logo. Switzerland was the same, your name on it with your number. So there's different places, but usually they had that, and that's just part of the sponsorship.
It's a weird kind of insurance policy where they remind you like, hey, we'll give you a free car, but don't forget, everyone knows who you are and everyone knows where you are.
Oh yeah, it was wild. The one time in Skellefteå, we went out. We went out to there was some event that was going on, and luckily, ironically, I chose to be DD that night. I was like, I didn't feel like having beers or any alcohol, so I didn't drink. And I was driving everybody home at like 1:30, and the lights were on behind me. I was like, I thought it was an emergency, so I pulled over, and the guy he was like flagging me to pull in. So how does this go? He turned his lights on. I didn't pull over. I pulled into the gas station. And I just figured he was going to go by. Next thing you know, my door swung open and the guy went to give me a breathalyzer. And I was like, sure. I'm like, sure. I don't think this is appropriate, but sure. And I'm like, thankfully, I didn't even have one sip of alcohol. But also, I was like, wait a minute, my name and number's on the door. This is bizarre.
Interesting,
but and nothing happened. He's like, okay, have a good night. I'm like, I will. you dick.
Meanwhile, coming back to cheers in the back of the car. Yeah.
You get. I got it all night too. Like come on, just have one. I'm like, nah, I just didn't want to that night. I just don't want a beer. I'm good.
Man,
And I held it off. So that was for a reason, I guess.
someone out there telling you, nope, not tonight.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was thinking more so you go to the grocery store at the Super Eka, and they say, Shrimp,
Yeah.
you can't park in the handicap fella. Your name and number's in the car. Morning skate.
Hey, more hockey content. It's might be old, it might be new, it might be a full episode, it might be a half episode, but you can click these boxes because who doesn't like clicking boxes?